We live.
Start now.
Yeah, we live now. I'm gonna
Can you hear
start.
us?
Yeah, I'm gonna start waiting till people start getting into the stream. So I need to start sharing it too. So
Alright, I got it pulled up on my TV so I can watch it.
I feel like we need music.
We go ahead like it now.
I feel like we need some music, bro.
I'll put it up on my TV so I can watch the live chat so I can see what they saying.
Yeah, me too.
Good shit. Since it ain't no audio coming from the damn. And you know, I'm looking at the chat and I see them two always gonna forever gonna like disagree with each other. Nah, for real. Like all the time. They always gonna disagree with each other. Like they're gonna be bickering. I should put them in the same division type shit.
That'd be
They
smart.
Terrence already in.
yeah, they are always going to have a disagreement. Wolfpack in the building, in the house, my bad. Terrence, and we got 6 viewers, 3 likes. Stream, the game y'all watching right now is the remake, or I'm sorry, the what they call it? The
Say
game is
rerun.
yeah, there you go. Rerun of the Wolfpack versus the Gunners. Ooh, that was a hell of a pass by Fareq. But yeah. I'm waiting till a few more people get in the stream, then we're gonna get the show started. I think we need to play a little bit of music. Hold up. Technically wasn't supposed to start till 3 p.m. or 12 minutes from now, but how many people we got in here?
This local access message is brought to you by Uber Eats.
Nah, say how many people we got in here?
Say 7 watching now.
My man, Jamison. He said he work. He tuned in.
And just 7. Give me a second, fellas. Hey, so why don't y'all go and introduce yourselves, man, to the viewers that we have in the stream so far.
Alright, Devontae Bradshaw, the coach of the Long Beach Kings.
What's going on, y'all? This is Coach Damon from the Buffalo Wolfpack.
Nice. Y'all already know this boy TJ Blaze, best point guard coming out the draft this year. We're gonna go and get this show started. I know this is kind of short notice, but my two co-anchors here decided, we should do something before the game tonight, or the 2 games that we got going on tonight, to kind of create a buzz, and that's why this is now the buzz around the league, where we talk about, pre-game, post-game matchups, what our idea of the top players are, and everything is opinionated, so we don't want to hurt nobody's feelings. All of this is just speculation and what we think and our opinions, but because I'm a player, I'm gonna kind of step it to the side and allow these 2 coaches to kind of give their expert opinions on players and teams and all that stuff. So first thing that came to mind, I was looking in the chat, and while we was putting the show together, man, one of the top players and he thinks very highly of himself. I might add. My boy Elliot Griffin made a comment to the league, and I want to put that on the screen real quick. Elliot Griffin said, and this was via band, but it streamed to our Twitter. I get notified. He said, "Get your popcorn ready. I'm fitting to put on a show tonight. Pirates versus Bulldogs. Everybody tune in." So he said he's gonna make a statement tonight. Coaches.
Yes, he said he's gonna destroy.
He gonna destroy it. Now, don't get me wrong. He's played one game, was really good in his matchup. I forgot who it was that he played. Actually, we got some of his highlights. Let's check out some of his highlights while we are talking about him. And Elliott's, one of those prolific centers, but I mean, I've always said sometimes you just have to allow people to talk trash about you. If you're a good player, just allow people to talk trash about you. Don't get caught up in the hype. Now he's going to have to come out here and really show out against the Bulldogs. And we all seen what Kyle Kerrigan can do. Now, this is obviously not a 1v1 kind of matchup, but it's going to be interesting to see who actually leads their team to a dub. From a coaching standpoint, and you're drafting a player like this, Dame, I'm gonna bring it to you. I'm gonna ask you first. Is that what you want? You want somebody that's gonna be confident and say, "Hey, this is what's gonna happen. Let's sell some tickets," or you rather your players to kind of sit back and let that game speak for itself?
You want to know what's crazy? I don't have a problem with this. I don't have a problem with this if the problem becomes a problem. Like if you're out there, you're not producing. You're not giving us any wins, and you're just kind of yapping at the mouth. Me personally, it would be the first thing to get you benched, whether you're a first round pick or a second pick. At the end of the day, competition is competition. So I can never tell a player to shy away from expressing themselves. But at least from our organization, there's gotta be some filter somewhere. Like can't just have you going off on a limb, talking crazy to every team. Because things like that build bad reputations and so on. So I mean, right now for this summer league, Ellie Griffin is doing his thing. His stats are speaking for itself. It's gonna be very interesting tonight to see what he does on the court. Um, I don't know.
I mean,
It's gonna be crazy.
it's definitely gonna be crazy. And Devontae, from representing the Long Beach Kings as the coach, the head coach, he performed like what he did. Obviously, for us to give him that piece against your team. Now, obviously, this is your team. This is just summer league players, but same question applies. But when you're looking at a player with his type of, I would say, skill set, would you want him to be more vocal and a leader and say, "Hey, this is what we finna do and we finna go out here and dominate," or would you rather him just kind of, keep those type of things to himself and just let his game play? Devontae, that's to you.
You know what? I actually like what he's doing, but I don't want him to get too carried away. Don't let the confidence turn to cockiness, because then you become complacent, and that's when things happen. Because right now, what I want him to realize is that nobody's able to game plan against him right now. So he's going to have big games.
Mhm.
But will he be able to do the same thing when somebody's actually game planning against him?
Well, I will say this. They play against the Bulldogs, and from what we've seen from the Bulldogs play, they don't really have a big that can really dominate. So I kind of see Griffin kind of taking over in this game. But who's gonna win? That's the question. Kyle Kerrigan, he heated up, and I think he's one of these emerging point guards. The draft stock is gonna go up. He's only played one game. Both of these teams have only played one game, and these are both of their second games. So it's gonna be interesting to see who can pull out the dub. But I have no doubt in my mind, Elliot Griffin is gonna go off. It's all about matchups in this type of system. So I feel you, man. Talk your shit. You know what I'm saying, and get your rating up. You know what I'm saying. But you got to show out. You got to definitely prove what you're saying to people. And you did it in your first game. See if you can do it in the second one. All right, so let's go on to the next segment. I wanted to kind of break down and see what you guys' thoughts on the league so far and the teams that we've seen play so far, and from what you've seen, my first question to you, Dame, is who from least to greatest rank your top point guards slash shooting guards. Now they can be point guard, they could be a true shooting guard slash small forward, but rank your top point guard, shooting guard from 5 to 1.
Gotcha. Okay. So number 5, great pick. I think he'll be great on any team. Very defensive minded. He's one of the smaller guards actually in the league. I think he's about 5'11", and I think one game you called him the ball headed Michael Jordan. So it's gonna be my man 50 grand Steve Carter. Right now Steve Carter is averaging 4.5 points per game, about roughly around 2 rebounds, 1 assist, 40% from the field goal. He's averaging 14% from free throw. So definitely some area where he can definitely improve in. 4 steals per game, and 1 turnover. So I mean, definitely if you're looking for a point guard who can go out there and add more of like a perimeter defensive aspect to your team, I think definitely Steve Carter is going to be your go-to guy.
Number 4.
Pretty much number 4, I got Ant Thomas. Ant Thomas, started off out the gate doing pretty well in his first game. He definitely showed some teams a lot of his weaknesses last night. However, he's averaging 9 points per game, 4.5 rebounds, 2.5 from the field goal.
Yeah, 28%.
20% from the field goal. 0.12%. What is this? 0.12% from the 3-point line, and then he's actually the best free throw shooter in the league right now. So definitely, if he gets to the line, we did notice that he was, very adamant on going into the paint. Something that's very lackluster of a lot of these guards. Whether it's a point guard or shooting guard, you don't really see anybody attacking the paint like Ant. Right now he has only 1 turnover in the last 2 games. Elijah Hawkins is going to go in at number 3. He's not the flashiest point guard out there. Definitely not the more explosive or scoring point guards. I think he's kind of like he's riding that middle of the pack, where he's averaging 6.5 points per game, 4 rebounds, 1 assist. He's coming in at 26% from the field goal, 20% from the 3-point line, and only 1 turnover. He definitely has some areas that he can work on. I'm definitely liking what I see. It's going to really depend based off of what a coach can really do to kind of build him up from here. Number two is going to be actually the biggest point guard that we have in the league right now. Tate Jackson. Tate Jackson is coming in at 5 turnovers per game. Not too good. I think he averages the most turnovers in the game. However, him and his partner T. Wary, they did handle the ball majority of their 2 games or 2 or 3 games that they did play. It's coming in at 3 steals, 4 assists, 20% from the free throw line, 30% from 26 from free throw, 30% from the 3-point line, 55 from field goal. Coming in with 3 rebounds per game and 9.3 points per game. I think he's going to be a very all-around type of player. I definitely see him, being able to be moved from the 1 down all the way down to the 3, maybe at times even playing the 4. That'll be very interesting to see where he lands at in the draft. However, my number 1 pick is going to be T.J. Rose. T.J. Rose, a very explosive scoring guard. Not somebody that I see that's going to really right now just because he's so fresh and raw. He's not a true point guard. It's somebody that I would definitely move to the 2. But he's coming in with 12 points per game, 2.5 rebounds, 0.5 assists. He's coming in with 47% from field goal, 47% from the 3-point line, something that we have not seen any other guard nor forward do quite yet. 50% from the free throw. He's only coming in with 2 turnovers, 7 3-pointers made. He does lead the league in 3-pointers. So coaches, definitely that's something to watch for if you're looking to build around a point guard.
For sure, man. Hey, and I really want to kind of give y'all credit. I appreciate y'all coming into the commentary and giving your opinions. None of these opinions are biased because this is from a different perspective, a coaching perspective. None of this was coerced. So I appreciate y'all giving your honest opinion. So again, we have Dame from the Buffalo Wolfpack, head coach for the Wolfpack, and I have Devontae, head coach for the Long Beach Kings. Devontae, next question goes to you. Can you give me your top 5 point guards / shooting guards from 5 to 1?
All right, number 5. I'm gonna go with Kyle Kerrigan. He could go up my list, but he's only played one game, so I haven't seen that much from him yet. But 13 points, 2 rebounds. He's shooting 36% from the field, 50% from the three-point line. However, he did have 3 turnovers. But, like I said, he's only played one game. That average could drop if he just take care of the ball more in the second game. Number 4, I have Elijah Hawkins. I went with Elijah right here because we've seen a lot from him, but he haven't made a lot of shots. But the potential is there. And then number 3, I'll go with Ant Thomas. I mean, he's 100% from the free throw line. That's the best out of anybody. 1 turnover. His 3-point percentage is kind of low, 12%, but he's taking a lot of them, and most of them were contested. So, and 4.5 rebounds, 9 points. That's kind of what you want out of a point guard. Now, number 2, I'm going to go Tay Jackson. I mean, he's big. He can play 2. He can play the 3. He maybe even can play the 1. In the right system, Tay Jackson can be, I mean, he's athletic. He can rebound the ball. He can score. I mean, what else do you want out of him?
Yeah.
And number 1, Timothy Rose. Probably the best prolific scorer out of all the point guards.
Hey,
I mean, Dane spoke on the rest, so I have nothing else to say about that.
yeah, y'all top 2 was the same. Tay Jackson and obviously Timothy Rose. And I mean, like I say, everything is opinion based. But you could arguably put Kyle in that 1, 2, or 3 spot. But we got to see what he gonna do.
And like I said, he could move up my list, but I have him at number 5 right now because he only played 1 game.
Yeah, I think tonight's game is going to really, put a lot of the doubters or the naysayers to rest as far as if Kyle Kerrigan can be consistent. I think that's the one thing that players and GMs and coaches, what they're not seeing is the consistency of some of these players. When evaluating them, I think players, really ultimately when they look at games that they're probably evaluating each other, or just themselves. But if you kind of take yourself back a little bit, you can definitely see that certain things are kind of different from a different aspect.
Yeah, I feel you on that. So we talked about Tay. We talked about his scoring ability. It kind of brings up my next question: what duo? And I know mine, but I just want to know what y'all's like. What's y'all opinion on the duo? The best duo in the summer league. When I say that, I mean shooting guard, point guard, center. Who is the 2 deadliest matchups or nightmares? And if they are to be drafted on the same team, would definitely be impactful right away. Dame, first question for you.
I mean, so for me, my favorite duo is going to be Tay Jackson and Terrence Ware. Reason why I say that, these 2 are very explosive together on the court right now in the summer league. I have not seen a duo like them. They do provide a lot of size and take up a lot of space on the court that can be very dangerous to other teams, especially on the defensive end. I think that if they did get drafted together, that'll be pretty lethal, a lethal combo. Right now, both of them are coming in with 7 turnovers a game, 3 steals, 4 assists. 43% from the free throw line, 14% from the 3-point line. So they're not really your go-to shooters, but there's definitely potential there to work with. 35% from the field goal, We have 4.5 rebounds, and then 7.5 points per game combined. Combined, they have 16.8 points per game. That is ranked in the top 5 of the league when it comes to duos. Definitely, a pairing here that if drafted together, they can be very explosive. They have some work to do. I would not put these two together if you don't have shooters on your team. And that's just my take from it.
Uh, Devontae, same question, bro.
I also have Tate Jackson and Terrence Weary for all those same reasons. And also, when you think about duos, you also think about what can these two not do together. And in my opinion, you have 4 positions covered with those two players. Point guard, shooting guard, small forward, and power forward are all covered with those positions, whether it's offensively and defensively. They can run the floor, they can score, they can play defense, they can rebound, they can do everything they need to do. But like I said, you need at least one, maybe two prolific shooters with them, and that will be a wrap.
Yeah. And just to Tays and Weary's defense, if they actually, because they can't shoot the three, so they're pretty much the all around package. You can even argue to put
Right.
Weiss and Fareed just because of Fareed's just dominance. But August can't get to the bucket. He's not going to shoot too many shots, but he also allows Fareed to be dominant. So you could arguably put those two. Those two in that conversation. Just real quick, man, I appreciate everybody being in the stream. We got 17 viewers. If everybody could hit that like button for me, greatly appreciated. Like I said, this is the buzz. I got my boy Dame from the Wolfpack coaching staff, and I got Devontae from the Long Beach Kings coaching staff as well. They're here to provide their expert opinions on what has happened throughout the summer league thus far. We're pretty much halfway through it. Got a few more days left, a few more games to see, and a few more players to evaluate. So let me get into the next question, next segment that a lot of people go unnoticed when they get ranked in this category. But for some coaches and GMs, these are the players that they draft first. So Devontae, I'm gonna switch it up. I'm gonna go with you first. Rank your top defensive player, like your number one defensive player so far in the summer league.
All right, what I'm going to say is going to raise a lot of eyebrows.
Uh-oh.
But for me, number one will be Sandy Bird. And now,
Okay, you gotta explain yourself for that, bro.
okay, don't get me wrong. 53% of the time when Sandy's covering somebody, they score. But here's the issue with that stat right there. Getting scored on means that that defender was in the area. But let's say, TJ, let's say if you was guarding somebody and you left that person wide open, it's up to Sandy to come pick it up. If she don't get out there in time and that person scores, then it goes against Sandy. That's not her fault, but the stat goes against her because she was in the area. But one-on-one, Sandy has showed that she can hold her own one-on-one in a straight one-on-one battle.
Okay, I mean, I'm the middleman in this. Like I said, there's a lot of good players that have played really good defensively, and everybody is entitled to their opinion. I wouldn't have put Shandy that high on my list, but you gave a pretty good point as far as like who's defending at that particular time. So yeah, and then all around as far as like just Shandy Bird as a player is definitely a sleeper. I think that stat line may be a little wrong. I think she averages about 10 points a game, but definitely a defensive player. I wouldn't put her ranked up with, obviously we seen what Elliot Griffin did in his first game, but that was a small forward versus, a center. So, dang, man, I really want to know your side of this and what player you kind of portray as being a top player who could potentially win a defensive player of the year.
For my number one pick is definitely not Shandy. My number one pick is going to be my man Austin Smith. My man, look. Let me tell you something. when you're playing defense, ultimately, here's the thing. You have to be able to have a presence on the court to the point where nobody wants to try to score on you. Obviously, if Shandy is getting scored on 53% of the time, nobody is scared of her, because that means at the end of the day, that means out of 53% out of 53% of the time that I'm coming to Shandy, that I'm going to get a bucket, whether it's inside the paint or whether it's from the 3-point line. So, hey, to me personally, if she's in the area, hey, I say go for it. So my number one pick. My number one pick is going to be my man Austin Smith. My man Austin Smith came out there. He opponent field goal percentage is 0.6. I'm sorry, 0.06.
0.06.
That's not 60%.
That's a big difference.
0.06. I mean, nobody is coming to the basket to score on this man. Me personally, honestly, this is just my opinion. I would put Austin Smith up against Fareq, up against Vlad, up against a lot of these top guys that players and coaches are sitting here talking about over anybody in the summer league right now.
Sure.
I mean, Austin Smith is going out there with 0.0%. I'm sorry, 0.06% in opponent field goal percentage, 3.5 blocks per game, a steal per game. He has 7 points per game, and then 9 rebounds per game. He's an all-around build. He will absolutely destroy you on the court. He does lead the league in opponent field goal percentage. He is the player with 8 or more opposing attempts.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, the way I see this is that man as a center, I can compare him to a Rudy Gobert, to an older Joakim Noah. Players of that caliber who affect the game in a different way. My man Austin Smith is definitely going to be a problem. I can definitely see him going top 5 without a doubt.
Yeah, I completely agree, man. 0.06%. That means out of 100 times this dude's shooting, you only gonna make 6 shots. That's number 1 in the league so far. Now we still got a lot to show in the league, but I don't think anybody's gonna top that. I would love to see him matched up against some of the prolific, bigs like, Elliott, Vladimir.
Right.
Brandon Wallace is one that we need to see a little bit more of. Obviously, Fareq. Don't get me wrong. Fareq is not an offensive threat as much as he is as far as like rebounding, but just seeing that matchup would be just, pay-per-view type of atmosphere. Real quick, man, before I let y'all go, I got a couple more questions for these coaches. If y'all got any questions for them in the comment section, please ask your questions away. We're currently at 17 viewers, 11 likes. If you haven't done so already, make sure y'all hit that like button. Always helps the stream. So real quick, Dame. Now we always talk about how good players are. We always talk about the top players, the best players, and all that other stuff. But what's something? Who is the player that you would say has been the biggest letdown? Like, expectations didn't really necessarily meet the reality. Who would be that player that you would put in mind?
I mean, this is kind of it should have been very obvious and very blatant. For you to be a goal player, for you to be 7 foot, for you to have the longest arms in the league right now, there is no reason why you were going out there and you're averaging absolutely nothing on the board. You're 0.0 points per game, Ty White. Yes, I'm talking about you. There is no reason why I'm looking at you and I have to double check to see if you're even a user. This is ridiculous. You're going out there averaging 0.0 points per game. You got the 6 rebounds, okay, but what's that kid, that computer, Bacot.
Yeah, Bacot. He got it.
That man was player of the game. So if you're sitting there playing like a CPU and you're a goal player, quite frankly, I'm not drafting you. You can be an undrafted free agent for all I care. 1 assist per game.
Going
off. Okay. 0% from the field goal. This is ridiculous. What are you doing out there? Hey, look, all I gotta say is guards, point guards, shooting guards, power forwards, whoever wants a bucket, if you go down there and go yam Go yam bam, thank you, ma'am, on Ty White. Ty White is the worst player in the league right now. This is ridiculous. I don't know why I'm even wasting my time on her.
Hey man, look, to her defense, she didn't hit the deadline as far as like adding attributes to a player, but still, being based overall and not being able to contribute at least a few points is pretty bad.
Listen, if you at the end of the day, if you can't make a deadline to make yourself great, then how do I know that you can show up to practice? Period.
Hey, Devontae, Long Beach Kings head coach. Same question, man. Who's your biggest letdown so far in the summer league, man?
All right. The person I'm going to talk about has the fewest field goal percentage by any player played in the summer league. They're averaging 4 assists and 1.5 steals a game.
Mm-hmm.
But they are shooting 1 for 19 from the field goal. And I think you know who I'm talking about. And that person is Jalen Vasquez.
Oh, boy.
For Jalen to be a silver player that has a 3 by his name, meaning that he shoots threes, he hasn't made a single one. He only attempted 1 layup throughout the whole summer league. We got one more game to go, so maybe that'll change. But right now, 1 layup is not enough for somebody that can get to the basket as easy as he can. And for somebody to be able to shoot as good as he can, he has to show me better.
Yeah, nah, that stat line you mentioned, 1 for 19, that's worst in the league, lowest amongst any player with 10 or more attempts. So it's not necessarily him not, I would say, making bad shots. It's just you got to play within the frame of the offense. You got to play within your skill set. And you got to be able to get other people involved, and he's doing that. He's probably ranked number 1 in steals, number 1 in assists. So he's doing something right. But for you to be the coach of the Long Beach Kings, like, I know that's something that drills you as far as like something to kind of pay attention to for drafting a player, and he's walking around with your uniforms on. So. Yeah, 1.5 points a game, 1 for 19 from the line. They got one more game. Let's see if he can turn some heads. But that stat line, that ending stat line, lowest amongst any player with 10 or more attempts, that is terrible. So that's all. That does it for all the questions that I have, man. Did y'all want to? B-Wall, Brandon Wallace. We're gonna go into some questions from the viewers. Brandon Wallace said top 3 sleepers. So I'm gonna let y'all, just on the spot kind of questions. Either one of y'all can go first. Top 3 sleepers. Who do y'all think the top 3 sleepers are? Like, you mentioned Ty White. Now keep in mind, Ty White hasn't added any attributes to her player, so it's kind of like a mystery box. So I just want to kind of make that a point before y'all answer. So, Dame, give me your top 3 sleepers.
My top 3 sleepers. Number 1, Steve Carter.
Okay.
Number 2. Hey man, look, this man came into the league talking crazy to all of you, and I have yet to see somebody talk crazier than him outside of Elliot Griffin. But Elliot, kind of make you look soft, man. But that man, what's his name? Anime man.
Shenandoah. Yeah, Shenandoah.
Hey, look,
I
gotta see him on the court. I gotta see him on the court. Big sleeper over there. Because right now that man is sounding like a big stepper. So hopefully all that talk is packing something. Outside of that, Ty White, I'm gonna give it to you. I'm gonna ease up on you a little bit. You are probably the biggest mystery gold player I have seen in the league so far. So therefore, I guess I gotta play Scooby-Doo with you, and and hope that you become some type of great player that I end up regretting either playing against or I regret drafting. So ultimately that's just how we're gonna go.
I would say too, it's gonna be interesting to see, because that might be a 2nd round pick, and they could get linked up with a really good guard. And obviously coaches can help. Because think about it, in March, she's gonna have double the points of what any other player is gonna have. You know what I'm saying? So March 1st, she gonna start with what 300 bronze points, 110 silver points, and 20 gold points, and that can easily change the tide depending on what she decides to upgrade on. So don't sleep too much on Ty White. All right, Devontae, you next up. Give me your top 3 sleepers.
All right, number 1, I'm gonna go Robert Ivory. I put him as a sleeper because nobody talks about him as a top player, even though his stats speak for himself. He's still not considered a top 5 draft pick yet.
Hey, he is tied for most points in the game, or average, so 13 with Kyle Kerrigan. So yeah, I can respect that one. But finish saying what you were saying. My bad, brother.
All right, and number 2, I would have to go. I don't know the first name, but L. Williams. It played on your team.
Oh yeah.
Because that person has no upgrades at all, and I seen get 4 or 5 rebounds, getting a couple of assists. They were playing their role perfectly well, and that's something that you want to see from somebody that you might get in the end of the draft.
Yeah.
And number 3, I go with Jerome Tyler because I see an all-around game there. In the right system, I think he could be a very dangerous, maybe a 6-man, maybe a little bit deeper, but somebody that you can depend on.
Yeah, Jerome Tyler is a goal player that I feel like hasn't really touched the ball, I would say, on the offensive side, but can get you some boards. So should be interesting. Him and Elijah, I kind of want to see a little bit more from them on the offensive side. And then Devin Turner. Like, Devin Turner is a goal. We were talking about him even before the Summer League started as being one of those top picks, but we haven't seen anything. I don't think he scored a single point last night. So those are my top 3 sleepers. But Robert Ivory, like I said, I wanted to what he's doing is really good. It's just I want to see more of it. I want to see him be consistent. That goes for pretty much every player that we talk about here. Do y'all have anything else y'all want to kind of bring to the table before we close and get ready for this game tonight?
I'm gonna say this. He's in the MVP running. Some of y'all may like it. Some of y'all may not. All I know, all my life, I wanted a big man that can do things that this man can do. Oh Lord, that Russian, Russian, my man, Big Vlad, Big V. Hey, look, I have not shed not one sign of hesitation of talking about Vladimir at the end of the day, because my man is coming in with 12 points per game, 13 rebounds per game, 1 assist, 2 blocks, 43% from the field. He is tied 2nd in the league in points per game. All I got to say is if this man does not get drafted at number 1 and number 2, oh Lord, I pray for you.
Hey.
I pray for you. I pray for you.
Man, look, to talk about that, I kind of wanted to discuss that rumor that was that's kind of trickling around. I got a little bit more information on this Al-Fareq, Vladimir kind of situation, who gonna go first and who gonna go second. Like, any team that would not pick either one of those guys are completely out of their mind. So I did my own little research, and I reached out to the Athens Bulldogs and kind of picked the head coach's brain, and he was a little I would say secretive about it, but I think I kind of got my answer. So I obviously asked, I was like, y'all hold the number 1 pick. All right, is it true neither Vlad or Fareq is in y'all conversation for the number 1 pick? And obviously, from an organizational point, he's not going to answer, but he did say, and I quote, "I cannot reveal our first pick." And this is Sean Self, Athens head coach. "I cannot reveal our first pick, but what I do know is that the player we are picking will be a franchise player for a long time coming. He will be the man, the dog, and the guy to lead our squad. His ability on the floor is amazing. His positioning is well executed. The way he involves his teammates is something that we are excited about, especially on the defensive side. He is definitely someone we want to build a team around and bring a championship to Athens where it belongs. This is hometown guy, you know what I mean, Sean Self, who, like I said, he's representing Athens Bulldogs just like a GM would. So from what I see and from what I gathered from that interview, that brief conversation I had with him, it sounds like that's a big. All right, it sounds like that's an Al-Fareq, that's a Vlad, and to be honest, I don't see them going outside of either one of those two, despite the rumors and the inside information that we got. Now they could just surprise the whole draft and go outside of that, and then obviously it's up to the Gunners if they're gonna stay consistent with it. But who knows where this draft is gonna go? And then obviously, I'm gonna let y'all kind of say y'all piece, and I'm gonna just finish up mine real quick. With the way this undrafted free agent system is gonna work, you could, you know, draft and get all these players and not get a gold big, and then sign an undrafted free agent. I think we had like 15 or 16 people that have signed up after we started the summer league. That number is obviously going to just get bigger. I can't go into detail about how many gold players, but I can guarantee you if you decide not to draft big in the first round, the second round, and those bids get off the table, I can almost guarantee you'll be able to find a solid player in the undrafted era right before the season starts. So, I mean, that's just my opinion on it, you know, but in the way I see it, I don't see them going outside of Fareq or Vladimir with at least the first 3 picks.
I'm gonna say this.
Okay, if that happens, if that happens, the only other big that I see, well, 2 bigs that I see going that high would be Elliot Griffin and Griffin Harris. So out of those 4, one of those 4 are going. Well, 2 of those 4 are going in the top 2.
Yeah, I don't
know. I'm gonna address this, and I'm gonna address this one time. I see you out there talking, Brandon Wallace. I see you. See, talking is where a lot of these players that I interviewed in trouble, right? Because a lot of these players were, you know, pretty high on people's draft boards and things like that. And in the game on the court didn't match the talking.
Otherwise, I would put myself on a better team.
It wasn't a lot, but you definitely stood out. Yeah, however, I need to see you do it again. I need to see you be consistent. You can't sit there and complain about, people sleeping on me. Yes, I'm sleeping because you ain't showing me nothing yet. Wake me up, please. I need to be woke, Brandon Wallace. So you show me that. Hey, look, just another name.
Yeah.
But maybe the second or third round.
Oh wow. I don't think he probably gonna skip that low. I mean, despite how on game audio is on. Yeah, I had it turned down, Vlad, my bad. But to your point, Dame, despite on how these next few games, or I would say the next game kind of. Oh, he said can't hear y'all good. Let me turn this down a little bit more. Dame, can you just address, because I think the audio was up just a little too loud. Can you talk about what you was just saying about Brandon Wallace, just real quick? Because like I said, I think I had the audio up too loud for you.
So to address Brandon Wallace, I see you out there talking is what got a lot of these players in trouble. So some of these players dropped off of people's draft boards, at least in the higher rounds, just because of what they said that they can or can't do. And then when they went on the court and they didn't do it, you know, things didn't go well. So my thing to you, Brandon Wallace, because I can see you out there talking. I've seen you been talking for the past 2-3 days. I seen what you did last game. It was okay. And that's all I'm going to say is that it was okay. But until you do it consistently, yes, you're being slept on. I'm sleeping on you till round 2 or round 3. I'm sleeping on you till you can make me woke. Please tell me that you were in the top 12 players of this entire league. And until you show me that, Brandon Wallace, you're just another round 2 or round 3 to me. My personal opinion.
That's tough. I will say this. I can't wait to the end of this summer league. I can't wait to the draft. It's gonna really show a lot of people's true colors. We're finally gonna see where these teams are going to draft and what's their priorities in the league. But Jay, I'm gonna say this real quick. The process. So right now, the undrafted players are in their own separate chat, and we're basically trying to get them registered. We're trying to get them upgraded. We're trying to prep them for the season, for the undrafted process. So after the 19th, I would say through the 21st, just the players that have played in the summer league will get drafted. Then after that, on the 22nd, these undrafted players will be able to sign with teams. They'll be able to sign with teams, and they'll be able to conversate. And it works just like how we used to do in the Madden. I don't know. I know you was in my Madden league. So 1 to 2, depending on how many free agents is in the pool per week, you can sign. And obviously you have to stay within the 14 players, but 1 to 2 per week, depending on how many players are in the pool, teams can sign. And then obviously y'all can agree upon contracts. I also saw somebody make a comment about like contracts in general. The way that process is going to work, obviously after a team is drafted a player, there is that player contract, that rookie contract that lasts about 2-3 seasons. Am I right? It's about 2-3 seasons.
Yeah, 2 with a player option, with a team option.
Okay, so after that, then you can go through the process of re-signing. Only people that are gonna be allowed to do that is the GMs. And in game, we can kind of conversate on what your budget is. There will be salary caps. You can't go over that salary cap. But it's up to the player at that point if they want to re-sign, right? If they want to re-sign with you or test free agency. But as far as contracts, I want everybody to understand. I want to try to create a simulated reality in this league. And that's saying if you agree to 2 years as a player, it's up to, and you're still, 6 months into your contract and you decide you want to get out, it's up to the team, unless it's something stated in your contract that states, hey man, I have an option to get out of this, or whatever the case may be. It's up to the GM. All right, it's up to the GM. Now, let's say 4 seasons pass, your contract is up, and you want to test free agency. As a player, it's up to you if you want to. Your contract is up. That goes for coaches too. I want y'all to try to simulate this the best way you can. Keep in mind, a season is 3 months. So if you decide, a 4-year contract, now you can arbitrate out of the contract if it's, a mutual agreement, but I don't want too much switching around because it's going to be hard to kind of keep track of everything. But yeah, so to answer your question, yes, players will be able to sign in the undrafted era post draft and 1 to 2 teams. He said, what's stopping us from taking a minimum contract and building a super team? What do you mean?
I think what he's saying is taking the contract for 3 months and choosing to change over. Now, I think that with that, I don't think that if you're drafting like the first few rounds that you had an option to even select your contract. I think it's kind of set in stone, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think it is set in stone. I can kind of go into the game and kind of see exactly, but 2 to 3 seasons is going to be that rookie contract that you can either re-sign or you can opt to go free agent. I will say this, GMs around that time, is there a franchise player badge in 2K?
I think it's Alpha Dog or
No, it's not.
something like that.
I'd have to check, but I want to be able to allow GMs to give a certain badge, and I got to go do my research on it, but a certain badge that after they sign a multi-year contract, so Smith said no. I got to look into it, but badges is going to work similar to, contracts and stuff. So if a player signs a 5-year contract, hit me up after stream. I got you. If not real money, so money doesn't play a part, we can link up easy. But you gotta agree to the terms of the agreement, Elliot. So if somebody signed you for 5 seasons, you gotta stay with them for 5 seasons as a player. Unless you just decide to quit the entire league and retire early, that's up to you. But 5 seasons, you agree to that. The GM has an option to add a said badge onto a player that helps them if they decide to sign with them for a long term. I got to figure out what badge that is. It was one of them I saw. But as a GM, you do a multi-year contract with a player, multi-million-dollar contract. You can give them a badge, and obviously they got to stick it out. If they decide to leave that team, then their badge gets stripped. Say the 3 best players want to link up on one team. Is there anything stopping them? Not as of yet. No. But salary cap. So you can take the minimum, right? Minimum salary. I believe at some point I'm gonna try to limit it. But I mean, think about what's happening in the real NBA. You know, you got James Harden, you got KD, and you got Kyrie. Like, they all are within, I think, $30 million range, and they still within that team. I mean, there has to be some type of limit, because you can agree as a player. I see what y'all saying. There's a gap in it. You can agree to, like, give me a basic ass contract so I can play with this dude. I have to figure out a way that.
The only thing that allows you to do that would be trades. If you get traded to a team like that, you can go over the salary cap a little bit. But it comes down to when the contract is up, how are you going to be able to re-sign those players?
Right. But then that's cap too. But that's what I'm saying. Like, I can essentially just say, fuck it. Just give me the bare minimum. I got you, Gabe. Give me the bare minimum. To sign with this player. You know what I'm saying? I see where you coming with it, Vlad. Like, that's a good I guess Gabe just gave me a hold on. Let me read what he wrote.
I think makeshift wise you would have to come up with, like, even if it's not real money, some way to cap teams, because what you don't want to happen is you don't want to have 4, 5, 6 players that are all gold playing on the same team just because they all waited out their contracts.
Yeah, I got Al-Fareq finna jump in the stream. I'm calling him right now, but yeah, we gotta figure out a way where it's. Hold on. Yo, Al.
Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, hold on, man. Turn my headset on real quick.
Al-Fareq say he got a solution to the problem, team. Let's hear what he got to say. Yeah, go ahead.
So it's simple. Our currency is attribute points. When GMs sign up for a package, they get a certain tier attribute points. When they sign us, they offer us attribute points too. Like, they don't have to have a lot, but it's like and that's how you do your cap. Right? So, your cap is like, okay, you got player XYZ on a team, and you gave X, 5 attribute points to come play for you. You gave Y 10 attribute points to come play for you. It'll entice me as a player to go to a place that's going to make me better.
So you saying based off of where you go, you get more attribute points?
No. If I'm a GM, and let's say I'm a free agent and I get drafted or whatever, and so one organization may say, hey, man, I want to sign you 2 years, but for these 2 seasons, I want to give you 6 attribute points per season. So if you come sign with me, every year you with me, I'm going to give you 6 attribute points that I purchased on my own.
Yeah.
Or whatever. You know what I mean? I'm going to give that to you. So it's like, okay. And then another team says, well, I want you to come for 3 years, and we'll give you 8 attribute points a year. So it's an incentive for me to get better. It puts more onus on the GM that if they want to have a gold or opal package, they can make that team better. They can get a super team if they choose to do that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And it's like, okay, what's my incentive for not playing with, me and Vlad getting together and saying, whatever, we gonna play until this contract's over. Well, it's different if the team can't afford Vlad. And do I want to take no attribute points to go play with him?
Mm-hmm.
I might say, yeah, I played one season and get one attribute point while he gets 11. Well, soon he gonna be better than me, so I might not want to do that.
So basically, what you're saying is, based off of the tier of the GM. So let's say he gets, instead of doing the $10, he do $12 or some shit, right? He do the $12 and he gets 50 attribute points a season.
Yeah, whatever you want to do.
I'm just trying to figure out, make sure I got it in my
Yeah. You can give it some thought, but that's how you're gonna make sure you can have a cap by how many attributes. So if I'm on a team for 2 seasons, in my second season, well, I'm still getting paid 6 attribute points. Yeah. So that team got to get at the beginning of the season 6 attribute points, but that 6 attribute poits goes against that team's cap.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
So
what happened when they had a 99 overall?
Well, that's how you got to tier it. You got to be able to tier it so that 99 overall equals so many seasons, right? You can't go on with it forever. If you're 99 overall, well, got to be some aging and some rebooting to it. Maybe you reboot your character and you come back with 80% of your points.
Yeah.
And then you can make a really good number 1 overall draft pick if you want to redo it. But I mean, people gonna hit 99, but that's just kind of the way you do the currency, because that's what we're doing essentially.
But is that paid?
Guys, we just building them.
Is that paid to win? Like, essentially, it is pay to win. But as a GM, let's say I just put in $20 and I can get, you know what I'm saying? Or we just cap it.
That's why you have the cap. That's why you have the cap, because it don't matter how much what you got. You're gonna be capped at this anyway, so you can only spend. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you go to my second year of my contract, you still owe me 6 attribute points. So if the cap's 20 attribute points, that GM only has 14 with my contract.
Yeah. And
if he got other contracts, it might trickle him down. He only got 3 attribute points he can offer, Vlad. And Vlad's like, well, why am I gonna take that when I can go to the Gunners and get, 10 and put it all on my block?
Yeah, and then if you're a good player and you really want to just get a championship, you'll take a pay cut.
Yeah, or you can do it this way. Or you can do it with badges. Right? You don't have to use the attribute points. You can say, well, you get so many badges you can give out. So if I sign with you, I'm going to give you 2 defensive badges and this badge. Like, use the badge as a currency.
Yeah.
Because you got 2 sets, and that's going to make, the players get this incentive to come with you because you give me 3 badges. I'm going to get 2 gold badges and a silver. You know what I mean?
Vlad made a good point. He said every team should have the same amount of attribute points. It should be regardless of that tier. So 50, let's say 20 attribute points.
Yeah, whatever you want to do it, but I guess my solution is use badges or attribute points as your currency in the league. And give the GM's power to give that out.
Okay.
And then now during the free agent period, that's what you sign. And you sign a person to a 2 gold badge deal. Like, he basically got a 2-year deal, and he got a gold and silver. Now it's like, okay, well, Vlad got signed, and that team over there gave him 2 gold badges. When I signed, I want 2 gold badges. I want 3 gold badges.
I got you, Jay. I'm gonna hit you up here.
All right, man. I ain't gonna hold you.
Nah, bro, you good, man. That's a damn good idea. I gotta implement it to where it.
You just gotta think about the numbers on it and the scale.
I got you.
Right?
I got you. And then too, this shit ain't gonna really matter until after the. So I got you.
And 2 or 3 seasons down the road, right? But I'm telling you, people will be enticed because it's like, I voted the sorry team. They didn't win a lot, but damn, they can make me better. They can really make me better. So
yeah. And then that kind of gives you this pie chart of like who I'm molding as a GM. So yeah, I got you, bro. I appreciate you.
Who you molding, right? And, you can, and then you can even go even further and have the GMs buy certain type of badges. Like, don't just give them a broad badge. It's a certain type at a certain level. Like, you can get real good with it if you put some thought to it.
Yeah, I see where you going. That makes sense. I didn't really think about that. That aspect of people like saying, fuck it, I'm finna just go overload this one team.
Well, see, there's people taking it serious, man. So you gotta be prepared.
Yeah, no, you're right. You right. Appreciate you, brother.
All right, before you go, I got a question.
Hold on. Somebody got a question for you. Somebody got a question for you. Hold on.
The freak, Al-Fareq. I got a question for you. And that would be, how do I join the agency?
Say it again, I can't understand you. You broke up.
All right, how do I join the agency?
Al-Fareq Sports Agency?
Yes.
This is what you need to do. All right? If you're interested in being part of Al-Fareq Sports Agency, you need to ensure that you at least have played over 200 hours of 2K on my players. Have you done that?
In total, yes, I have.
Okay. And
That
the second
includes
thing, you have to
2K10
at
all the way through
least have
now.
made at least 10 live players in your career.
At least 10. God damn, nigga. What the fuck? I mean, maybe like
10 my
3 or
players
4.
is white.
Yeah,
Okay.
10 for the low.
In Al-Fareq Sports Agency, we build players. That's our motto. Right? We understand the tendencies. We understand the attributes. So you need that experience. So what I tell you to do, go build a couple more players, shoot me an inbox, and we can work something out.
Y'all boys crazy, man. Hey, Fareq, man. I'm gonna have to get you on the show more often, brother. You're very entertaining, dog.
Oh yeah, man, I really appreciate it, man. And hey, from the Al-Fareq Agency to everybody in MGN, really appreciate it. Awesome league, awesome production. You guys do it great in the studio. Really like it. Look forward to the game tonight. We'll talk to Al-Fareq before the game starts, but definitely, if you want to be part of the agency where we build players, let me know. All right, guys, I gotta go. My plane's about to leave.
All right, brother. See you.
All right.
That boy says his player about to leave. You gotta go talk to his player. Very entertaining. Hey, anybody want to get in the show? Y'all always know y'all welcome. You got my number. I can reach out to you like how we just buzzed Fareq in, or we can have you on the Discord. But yeah, it's been fun. I can't wait to this game. I had that pulled up with the players. I know Bulldogs and the Pirates playing, but it was another team. Oh man, hold on. Let me see. Just had that pulled up.
While you doing it, I saw Rob Ivory say the disrespect is real. I just want to say, you are my number one sleeper in the summer league right now. Just keep that in mind.
Yeah, no, Robert is definitely I mean, I just gotta see. I gotta see more of it. He took a lot of shots. You know, he took a lot of shots to get that 13. A lot of shots.
Hey, listen, Robert Ivory. I don't care what you say. I ain't say all that. I ain't even say all that. You are short. You know. I need you to grow.
Oh man, let's go. That's tough. Hey,
I'm just messing with you, man.
We got the Pirates and the Bulldogs coming up. I'll probably stream that game. I'll have these two fellas with me probably the next, let's say, 2 hours. So it's 3:50 my time right now, probably right around 6 o'clock Mountain Time, 7 o'clock Central, a little early because I'm off today. And then right after that, it should be probably starting about around 8. The Gunners versus the Spartans. Al-Fareq, we get to see Al-Fareq's last and final game. See if he can average that double that he has right now so far. But yeah, it's been fun, fellas. As always, make sure y'all keep it locked right here on MGN Sports. We're gonna keep it. Every game gonna be streamed here. Every draft for seasons to come. So and if y'all don't got nothing else to say, man, I'm finna be out. I'll see y'all probably the next hour or two. Peace.
All right, see y'all soon.
All right, go.
All right, fellas, stream has ended.
Hey, TJ.